video about thinking too deeply about thoughts. Thoughts are weird. That's what we're doing, right? On the internet, we're just all thinking about our thoughts.
Okay, these are from Jewel. It's just smoke. They're not real fireworks, guys. So we're having a smoke party in here. You guys know that
You want some smoke? Today's video, I'm coming at you live from Millennium Park in Chicago. A lot of action going on, a lot of live music, which is cool. I hope it adds to the video instead of subtracts from the video. I hope there's not any sound issues, but and I hope there's no copyright issues as well, now that I think about it, because they are playing covers. I'm gonna make sure that the wind is not blocking the speaker. This is the Windy City. Speaking of wind and weather and whirlwinds, I wanted to talk today a little bit about thought. Like, what is the essence of thoughts, and then what is the nature of consciousness? Like, is there a fucking difference? So buckle up. What are thoughts? Why do they incessantly occupy our minds? Are they just like these random electrical impulses that happen because we're alive, or do they actually mean something? I often hear thoughts are things, right? Thoughts are things. And that suggests like a very tangible impact, which I love. But then meditation classes are like, quiet your mind, and so that implies like your thoughts are somehow detrimental to your experience. So could they be beneficial? And what's with the emphasis on like trying to silence them? The mere idea of sitting alone with your thoughts can be unsettling and also like confronting and terrifying at times, right? So what do we do about that? We immerse ourselves in other people's thoughts, right? Like YouTube videos, podcasts, music, films, books, like mental chatter, right? Because isn't it fascinating that these external inputs also intermingle with our own thoughts, which like birth new ideas and new perspectives, and like it's just this ever flowing cosmic dance. But then it's like we can literally evolve into a bad thought or a good thought depending on what we choose to like put emphasis on and energy on. And yet there's this prevailing belief that like an overload of thoughts is gonna like derail and lead to confusion, right? But isn't it also true that a single thought holds the power to ignite like a miracle, like miraculous change and like, you know, new science and new inventions and like, you know, just an evolution of species? Thoughts and thoughts and thoughts can continue to like unravel the mysteries of the universe. I use the Wright brothers a lot as like an example that, you know, but think about it. They were like, we're gonna make like a flying craft. And just think about having no context for that, you know, like what people must have thought. And then think about the faith of the mustard seed can move mountains. An entire tree resides inside of the acorn. These are like just phrases, but they do represent like monumental outcomes that start from very minuscule beginnings. I feel like I'm obsessed with scientists because I don't relate at all, but I feel like like my brain just doesn't work like theirs is what I mean. I don't think. But anyway, I love the idea of how they just contemplate shit over and over and over for years. And like years, dude, like decades. Watch the James Webb Telescope documentary if you haven't seen it. That's fresh on my mind. And philosophers are always like diving into the abyss. Sorry if the sound sucks, I apologize. But philosophers have like illuminated new paths for humanity just by like their relentless thinking. And then one has to ask themselves, okay, when does that thought cross over into delusion? Right? We've got this whole like online meme culture around like delusional confidence, like Delulu, which I love. I'm obsessed with. I'm gonna shift because I think the wind is fucking wind. There's this delusion as it pertains to sobriety in the literature. The delusion like we are like other people or presently maybe has to be smashed, which is just a reminder like how our minds can weave intricate webs of self-deception. It's happening all the time, like without us even knowing it. We can't really like stop our thoughts, right? Or I guess if you can, let me know. Comment below. This is such a bad angle for me. Being alone with one's thoughts has driven people mad. I think it was Nietzsche who said that like being alone with his thoughts like drove him to the brink of insanity, right? It was like the cause of his mental collapse. So the mind, if it's left unchecked, can like be it can be like a Mount Everest it's a treacherous landscape, we'll say. And then on the flip side, there's like, you know, the monks who are individuals who embrace that solitude and introspection, and they use practices like meditation. They seek enlightenment by finding peace in the stillness of their thoughts, or like existing within the thoughts, somewhere within the thoughts is how I understand it. And that there's like tranquility and freedom there somehow. Whoa. just gonna turn around. So which is it then? Like, is our thoughts our allies or are they our adversaries? And perhaps it's not even about our thoughts and understanding them or discovering which thoughts serve us or don't serve us. Maybe it's not about any of it. Maybe it's not about silencing our thoughts. Maybe it's not about trying to understand them in a deeper way, or like distancing ourselves from them altogether. Because like discerning which ones serve us and don't serve us, like if you have too much attention to that, that is what's going to lead you astray. That's what's going to cause the delusion and make you go, you know, off the deep end. Not you, but maybe someone, you know, someone like Nietzsche. That's what he said. He said it. I didn't say it. Let's embark on this journey together. Like, let's dive a little bit deeper into the ocean of consciousness, and maybe we'll uncover like what drives thoughts, and maybe you'll be able to see which ones uplift and which ones deceive us. After all, it's like, which reality do you want to choose, right? Which reality do you want to weave into your tapestry? Which reality do you want to experience? You have free will at the end of the day, and if you break down your thoughts and you start to see them this way, you really start to see the tapestry of your life and how you're contributing to it in ways that you might be ready to upgrade. Or not. No pressure. This video is just an interesting conversation around the idea of thoughts, because thoughts are weird. And I have a lot of them, and I think too deeply about them all the time. This is just a video about thinking too deeply about thoughts. That's what we're doing, right? On the internet, we're just all thinking about our thoughts. That's a funny way to say it. Actually, I think that's probably true, right? We're all just like thinking about our thoughts, and our algorithms are just feeding us more of our thoughts, same thoughts or new thoughts. Hopefully this was a new thought on your algorithm. Hopefully this presented a new understanding and awareness for you. And I hope that this video brought forward something that you find interesting. And I hope you'll stick around for the next video. If not, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, scrolling, doing whatever you're doing. I support your process. Also, this is so random, and obviously we know that there are like little differences between cities, but something I always forget about whenever I come back to the Midwest, and tell me if you relate to this, is that where I live, you never have to worry about going out into a grassy field and worrying about there being goose shit all over it. That is something that is so specific to the Midwest, I feel like. Is there anywhere else in the country that that's specific to? Let me know. Maybe the South somewhere. Anyways, I hope you got something out of this video. I hope this made you think about your thoughts, and I hope you have a lot more. I hope you have a lot more inspired thoughts after this video is over. Bye, guys.